Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 4th. This week, Virgo, we're just gonna jump right in here and see what is going on for you at this time. I feel, number one, there could be love coming in for some of you. I'm pretty sure last week you had something about love, and you have the Ace of Cups, Page of Cups, Ace of Wands. Be a very passionate new beginning. But, having said that, I feel intuitively that you are coming off of a false start. So some of you have recently had a false start, is what this looks like to me. I actually kind of like this reading. There is a lot of good stuff here, so I'm not too worried about the false start energy. Again, not all of you have this false start in love either. For some of you, it could have been like a financial false start. I am getting another message about that as well, which is that some of you have had a false start in general, like a big false start. Like maybe you thought you were going to move somewhere, it didn't work out. Maybe you thought your business was going to go in a certain direction. And sorry, I just want to make sure I'm actually recording the audio part of this. But, I feel like there has been some sort of like false start here. Something got in the way is what I feel in the middle here. You start off with the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is your emotions overflowing, a lot of happiness coming in for you. Something's still missing. I would say I feel like overall that you are feeling good this week. Starting this week is what I feel like saying, which is interesting as well. So maybe you're coming off a period that has been a little bit challenging, and now you're kind of like getting happier. There's more happiness coming in for you at this time. I do feel a need to like try to get the cup to overflow. On the Ace of Cups, normally the cup is overflowing into the water below it, and it's like a self-filling cup. The cup can just reach down into the pool of water below it and fill itself back up. And so I kind of feel like you're finding things in your life, or that could be a major focus for you at this time, is like what fulfills you, and you could be very focused on just finding things that lead to more fulfillment in your life, like that fulfill you on a personal deep level. You have the Page of Cups, the Moon, and the Nine of Cups. The Page of Cups, number one, there definitely could be someone who is very passionate about you in your life. Could be a water sign for sure. You have the Page of Cups, Ace of Wands to the Knight of Cups here, Knight in Shining Armor type of energy. Definitely could be a water sign, could be any sign. This is a general reading, but I do feel there could be love coming in for you if you're looking for it. The Page of Cups is also, could also be like good news, and I do feel that there could be some good news here. I don't normally say that with the Page of Cups. Really, all pages can represent news, but the Page of Pentacles is kind of my good news card. Having said that, you have the Eight of Wands next to the Eight of Pentacles here. I get I feel like there's a lot of financial good news coming in for you, which is not a bad thing, right? You have the Moon here. I feel like the Moon is representing just uncertainty in general. I feel like you've been through a period of time that has been a little bit more uncertain than usual. Maybe not bad, but just like unpredictable. And I feel there have been recently some things that maybe are a little bit more like on the side of a shakeup, right? I wouldn't call this a total shakeup that you've had in your life, because there's no tower showing up here, but the star, which shows up after the tower, is showing up here as well. So I feel there's been like little tiny things that have kind of gotten in the way. It kind of reminds me of like the energy of maybe you're making more money, but maybe also there are certain responsibilities that are increasing, like your financial burden has increased along with the financial increase, right? Where it's like not a bad thing, but it's kind of like a tiny shake-up, because you're like, oh my God, I'm making more money, but I still owe more money, And so you're not quite like where you want to be, is the energy I get with this Moon card. I mean, part of me does feel that you are focusing on fulfillment, which is great with the Nine of Cups. It's like you want more fulfillment in your life. I feel like you know what will lead to fulfillment as well. This guy here on the Nine of Cups, I always say, he's meant to look chubby. He's meant to look like he's had a feast before, and he's about to have a feast again. It's like he knows exactly what will lead to fulfillment. He knows the things that will make him happy, or the things that will lead to his own personal fulfillment. I feel like you've been put on pause, though. You have this standstill card. Like I was saying at the beginning of the reading, something has gotten in the way a little bit of something that you're trying to do. And it looks like you're healing from something. You have the Star card here. The Star card definitely represents a healing. Some of you literally could have been sickness or illness that you're healing. Again, I'm not a doctor, so do not take this as medical advice. For others, I feel it could just be things, life getting in the way here of like a new beginning that you've been hoping to have. You have the Ace of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Star card. The interesting thing about the Star card is it's kind of interesting that, I kind of feel like I've heard a lot of stories, because of COVID and everything, that a lot of people actually made a lot of money, or became very successful. It's kind of interesting to me that I've heard a lot of stories, basically, of people who have kind of like gotten a taste of the dream, right? Whatever the dream is, the star, right here is your dream life, right? So kind of like COVID, the whole shutdown and all that, I feel like it led to people doing things like starting their side businesses or starting a YouTube channel or doing something that was kind of like a taste of the dream. And now we're entering to this time of fear, right? And obviously, a lot of this I feel like is manufactured fear, let's put it that way, of like with the recession and everything like that. So now it almost feels like the dream is being removed from us, right? I think the trick right now is that the universe is trying to say like, okay, how can nothing has really changed, right? It's like you're still the same person. So it's like, how can the dream be taken away from you if you are the same person? That's a question I'm getting on the Star card. The Eight of Pentacles to me is saying, yeah, there's work to be done for you to, maintain this level of fulfillment or to kind of like maintain the dream, so to speak, right? But it exists, but you can do the work. This is a card of mastery. You also have the Ace of Wands, which there's a castle that is crumbling right above my finger there. It kind of represents out with the old, in with the new. And that's the period of time, I'm sure you're all sick of hearing me say it because, I talk about this all the time, that basically that's the period of time we're in. Out with the old, in with the new. But again, I feel like there are going to be things that happen where it's like there are going to be opportunities that, kind of get us closer to the dream, and then there are going to be things that happen like the recession or, the government or whatever the hell they want to use to scare us, right? Those things are going to be happening. That's why I talk about this so much now, because I want people to realize that it's like nothing really is changing, right? It's like, yes, they might be raising gas prices and all this other stuff, right? Those seem very real, but we need to realize that it's like we did something once, or we got really close to our dream kind of like on our own, even though it seemed like the external circumstances maybe were better. Maybe we thought we had money. Maybe we think we had certain things, but the Ace of Wands is about kind of like doing things no matter what. It's about following our inspiration, right? So I feel like a lot of you need to do that because it seems to me like you're building a lot of things that are amazing in your life, or you're getting very close to living, a dream life, whatever that means. But there's still work that needs to be done with that Eight of Pentacles. Although this looks really, really good to me, I would definitely stay focused on what you want. Next, you have this jeweled web card. It says connectivity. So I feel like you are very connected at this time. Everything is connected right now for you with this energy. You have the Knight of Cups, the Eight of Wands, and the Two of Swords. Knight of Cups could definitely be a knight in shining armor. So if you're looking for love, definitely could be communication coming in for you in love. Could be online as well. You have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands like socializing, social media. So you could be meeting a person through social media, and it doesn't matter what gender you're attracted to either, by the way. This is a knight, but it doesn't have to be a man. It could be any gender. But I do feel also that he is standing in the desert, and there's water flowing in front of him. It represents the fact that he's in the desert, but he could easily plant some seeds by that water and they would grow, even though he's in the desert, because there's water there. So I feel that you could be in a position in your life where there's actually going to be very quick growth, very quick movement as well with the Eight of Wands, meaning like you do something, it moves quickly, things happen fast with this Eight of Wands energy. But I feel like you need to see that there's water in the desert. Two of Swords. She has a blindfold on. She's not seeing the opportunity that is in front of her. Two of Swords is a card of being at a standstill. It's a card of being in a stalemate, not kind of seeing that there are opportunities for you to progress or move forward. So I feel like you need to do what you can with what you got. Again, I've worked with a lot of businesses in my day, and I've just noticed that there will be times where like there will be some businesses I work with that just don't care what's going on in the world. And typically those ones are the ones that are more successful. It's not that they don't care. They just don't allow external circumstances to control them. I've worked with other people where it's like they're always worried about who's in office, who's doing what, where, right? Those people are so focused on that they're not focused on their business. So what happens? They lose business, they lose success, all those other things. This reading is very much talking about your focus. Let's dig into it. With the Page of Cups, you have the Six of Swords. Moving on, in a lot of ways, I feel like your vision for your life is maturing. You're not the only sign that gets this. There's at least like one other sign that has a very similar message to this. But what I would say to you, since we're talking to you, Virgo, is that there's like a major growth happening for you, especially for those of you that have career, have a business, any of those things. I feel like you're kind of broadening your horizons. You're kind of reaching a whole new level of people, in a lot of ways. And I think in one of your latest readings, I was saying something about how you're reaching a new audience. And I don't know, maybe you're on YouTube, maybe you have a podcast or something. If you do, I feel this is a really good reading for those of you that have those sorts of things, because it seems to me like you're reaching out to like a whole new group of people or things. Even in love, for example, like you could be moving, and by moving, you're like reaching a whole new group of people. Let's see. With the moon, you have the moon. Basically, the universe saying, I meant what I said. I'm a big fan of kind of like moving towards what is scary at this time. The moon represents a period of like uncertainty, doubt, fears, mysteries, not being sure the direction that you're going in. But I always say there's a path straight down the middle of the moon. The path represents needing to kind of like continue on your journey no matter what. So I feel like you have to keep moving forward. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Eight of Wands. Quick success coming in for you. I do feel there is quick success coming in for you. Obviously, a lot of abundance as well coming in here. I feel like things are happening very, very quickly. Like once you make a decision to focus on your dream, whatever that star card is. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Page of Pentacles. There you go. We were literally talking about this at the beginning of the reading, how I feel like there's news or there could be good news kind of coming in for you at this time. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Hermit, you showing up. I love that you're showing up as yourself in this reading. Whenever you show up as yourself in the reading, puts you in a position of power and strength. The Hermit is you, and you're showing up in the most powerful position, which is the center card. The Eight of Pentacles with the Hermit, it's basically direct results, meaning that if you are working on something, you will get results right away, or you will get the result you expect, which is not always true in life. So I feel like you're kind of getting direct results here. With the Star, you have the Four of Pentacles. I do feel there are some things from the past that need to be let go of. A lot of shedding. I mean, I always talk to you about caterpillar soup, Virgo, right? Because you're like the only sign that always gets these messages of being in caterpillar soup, which I feel like you've been in for a long time. And I feel you're like shedding layers after layer after layer. And again, you're like the only sign that gets a message of going through like such a radical change. And so I feel that a lot of you are just kind of used to releasing the past at this point. And so I feel you're pretty much comfortable letting go of that Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles normally holding on too tightly, but really I feel the opposite for you. I feel like you're very much willing to just shed layers very quickly. With the the Knight of Cups, you have the Four of Wands, marriage. Some of you could be moving towards marriage here, is what I'd say. This is your future position, so obviously it wouldn't be happening today whenever you're watching it. I feel like it's something that's happening in the future. Really, the Four of Wands is a card of freedom and being set free. There is a major focus on freedom for you Earth signs, because you are a Virgo. We have Uranus and Taurus. And Uranus and Taurus for you, especially all the earth signs, for everybody it's true, but especially for the earth signs, that there could be this major focus on freedom and being set free. Freedom means something different to everybody. For some people, freedom is not freedom to others, right? So, it's going to be different for all of you, but I feel a lot of you could be very much focused on situations in your life that don't try to lock you in. Four of Pentacles, right? Four of Pentacles is being kind of more inside the box, locked in, boxed in. You could even be rejecting labels, for example. It's like people, even at work, right? Maybe you are trying to find a job where it's more open-ended, where you're able to create your own job, right? Where maybe you have more freedom to decide what you're going to do every single day, and you don't have a person saying you have to do this, right? So I feel like you're kind of I do get that feeling here where you're looking for more creative freedom, let's put it that way. It doesn't, but I'm not talking about like creativity like art. I'm talking about creativity like what you do on a daily basis. Could be true for relationships as well. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Eight of Cups. Everybody's had the Eight of Cups because I feel we are in a time where we're just walking away from things that no longer serve us. We're also in between eclipses, so it makes perfect sense to me. And with the with the Two of Swords, you have the King of Swords and the Tower. Exactly what I was talking about, right? How it's funny that the last card is the Tower because I said you don't have the Tower here. So, of course, the universe has to be like, oh no, I'll give you the Tower. But the King of Swords doesn't really surprise me. I feel that the King of Swords could be talking about knowledge and wisdom. And I also feel it's talking about discernment. You know, the King of Swords, he's able to look at any situation that he comes across and he's able to make a judgment call. But he's like the best at making a judgment call. If a person enters into his life, his kind of first gut instinct is always very accurate. He knows, hey, like this is a good person or this is a bad person. So he really trusts himself. I feel like that's what this is talking about. But same thing in like work or business or anything else that you do. If you get a feeling, trust your feelings. I feel like it's deeper than that. It kind of is almost intuitive for the King of Swords, even though he doesn't necessarily represent intuition, but his decision making is almost intuitive. He kind of trusts wisdom. He has something much, much deeper than just like knowledge. He has wisdom, which is like a whole other level. And I feel like this is saying trust that. The Tower, Tower Two of Swords basically says that if there are decisions that you know you need to make and you don't make them, the universe will create a Tower moment. I always say, is that a bad thing? Probably not, because the Tower isn't a bad card. We always rebuild after the Tower. It's not that big of a deal. And we always reinvent ourselves. So that's like what's going on here. Virgo actually looks like a really good reading. I feel like you're heading towards some good stuff. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Don't be afraid to take risks, as I always say to you. But that's what I'd say here. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.